I'm not going to read my testimony. It's already been submitted online. I've been listening to the conversation, and I would like to thank very much Representative Byron for bringing out the volunteer portion of this bill. I was talking to some folks about what we're doing in Connecticut. This bill proposal, first of all, I would just submit to you, you can change any language you want. So if you don't like 64 years old, you can change it to 50. If you want to add other provisions, it's a waiver under your control, you can do so. But let's talk about the volunteer component of this bill. And I think that's critically important. It's 20 hours a week. We're not asking somebody to volunteer ad nauseum. It's 20 hours a week. And so I would direct you to lines 19 through 36. There are tons of exemptions in this bill. And I'd like to highlight them, especially for the audience listening, if you hadn't had a chance to get that far in the bill. This does not apply to persons with disabilities as defined in Section 17B-608. It does not apply to pregnant women. It does not apply to sole caretakers of dependent children or persons with disabilities. It does not apply to students enrolled in full-time or secondary school. In addition, it does address transportation issues. Further on in the bill, there's extensions that are allowed. For me, why I support this bill, it's about a sense of purpose. We have so many of our residents in this state who wake up every day feeling unfulfilled, who want an opportunity to be part of a community and a productive member of citizens. Giving them a chance to volunteer in their senior center, in their prison system, in their library, at the state park. I could go on and on. Those places are located in every corner of this state. We need to start having these dialogues. As upset I can clearly see it makes some of my friends and colleagues, frankly, these conversations are overdue. We have an obligation in the firestorm of our fiscal crisis to look at every single program that our taxpayers are supporting. That's our obligation as elected officials. And whether any of us are here after this November, the people who will be sitting in those seats are facing a $5 billion budget deficit. Let me say that again. $5 billion. Tough decisions are going to have to be made. And it should start with making sure we're helping people who need it the most. This program does not do anything to those preschool teachers. They're working. This has nothing to do with them. So let's remember what we're talking about. When I asked the commissioner in the appropriations process how many people weren't working, they couldn't give me that answer. They can only tell me how many people are. This bill is focusing on those who are not. But it doesn't say you must find a job. To those 9,000 people in Representative Adams' district, there might be several of them that can simply walk down to their local nonprofit, whether it's a library, maybe they can volunteer in an urban nonprofit, maybe even a community action agency, and volunteer 20 hours a week. 20 hours a week. That's 4 hours a day. I don't understand why we can't have these conversations in a way that's respectful, understanding each other's points of view, but at the end of the day, recognizing we have a fiscal crisis and we need to make sure that those who need it the most, the disabled, those who are caring for independent or dependent children at home, pregnant women, we need to make sure they have the resources and the safety net. And the reality of Connecticut, frankly, is no one's going to have some of those benefits if we keep forcing taxpayers out of this state. So the idea of this bill is to focus our resources and prioritize it on those who need it the most, and those few bad actors who are taking advantage of taxpayers and staying home and not volunteering in their communities and not going to school and not looking for a job. It doesn't even say you have to be working. It's just looking for a job. Those people need an incentive, and that's what this is about. This is about protecting those who need it the most, incentivizing those who need a little nudge, and getting people in our communities volunteering again. In my area of the woods, we had a program called the Citizens Conservation Corps back in the Depression. Think about what we did back then. We put people to work building state park roads, providing resources in their communities. This is not a new concept. But I know when I volunteer, I'm not volunteering necessarily just to help the organization I'm interested in supporting. I'm volunteering because it hits me right here. I want people, once again, to feel like they're connected to their communities, that they can get up every day and look in the mirror and say, I'm helping my community, I'm doing the best I can, and I'm giving back. And here's a way for them to do that. That's all this is. Thank you very much, Mr. Chair.